In a charged Oval Office scene that felt more like a dramatic stage play than a routine meeting, U.S. President Donald Trump fired off a bold remark. Right before the eyes of Irish leader Michael Martin, he claimed that Ireland was naturally exploiting America. The tension in the room was almost tangible as Trump's words hit hard, a declaration that set the stage for a heated exchange. What unexpected twist might come next? During this meeting, held amid a flurry of international trade moves, Trump's comments came at the same time that European officials unveiled new economic countermeasures. This was in direct response to his earlier move, a 25% tax on every shipment of steel and aluminum from around the world. The backdrop of clashing titans left everyone wondering if this was just a matter of policy or a spark for something bigger. With a steady gaze, Trump stated, "The EU was created to exploit America." When pressed further about Ireland's role, he didn't hesitate. "Of course they are. I respect Ireland for doing what needed to be done, but the United States should never have let it happen. We had foolish leaders who didn't know any better." His tone mixed admiration with frustration, making it clear that while he valued Ireland's bold moves, he felt deeply betrayed by past missteps. Could things really have turned out differently? He continued, emphasizing the stark shift in power. "Suddenly, Ireland has grabbed our pharmaceutical companies. This beautiful island of 5 million now holds the entire U.S. pharma industry in its grip." The imagery was vivid, a small nation holding a giant's treasure, and it left a lingering question about missed chances. Trump, who proudly mentioned his own property in Ireland, added, "I love my Irish property, but I wish America hadn't been so careless all these years, not just with Ireland, but with everyone." The mix of personal pride and national regret painted a picture of a country that had been outsmarted. What would have happened if things had been done differently? Offering a sharp example, he explained, "When the big pharma companies started moving to Ireland, I would have been fine if they stayed there. But if they wanted to sell in the United States, I'd have slapped a 200% tariff on them, making it impossible to do business here." With a confident smile, he concluded, "Guess what? They would have stayed right here." Even when asked if Taoiseach Martin should worry about the heavy tariffs, Trump teased, "He doesn't look nervous. If he were, he wouldn't hide it." Yet behind the jokes, he noted a huge trade gap with Ireland, praising the Irish for their smart moves while criticizing past American leaders for missing the mark. Was this playful banter masking deeper concerns? The meeting's tone was a far cry from what Martin had hoped, a friendly display of mutual investment between the two nations. Instead, it unfolded as a tense debate over a long-standing trade imbalance. Many now fear that Trump's hard-nosed tariff and tax policies might put the Irish economy, largely built on years of U.S. multinational investments, at serious risk. Could this clash of policies upset the delicate balance of a thriving economy? Across Europe, the shockwaves were being felt. Last night, European authorities announced trade countermeasures worth up to €26 billion, £22 billion, against U.S. goods. This move was a direct response to the 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, sparking concerns about disrupted supply chains and rising uncertainty. European Commission head Ursula von der Leyen summed it up plainly: "Tariffs are like taxes, they hurt business and hit consumers even harder. They disrupt supply chains and create uncertainty." With such strong words, one can't help but wonder if this trade storm has just begun. Back in the Oval Office, Trump insisted that his tariff plan was meant to restore fairness to U.S. trade. "We've been taken advantage of for too long, and that will stop now," he declared, adding that America would soon counter the EU's new measures. His firm tone left little doubt that more actions were in the pipeline. Could his bold promises be the prelude to a new era in trade? Not to be left behind, Canada quickly announced its own set of retaliatory tariffs. Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc revealed plans to impose measures worth $29.8 billion Canadian dollars, £16 billion, starting tomorrow. These tariffs cover steel products valued at $12.6 billion Canadian dollars, £6.8 billion, aluminum goods at $3 billion Canadian dollars, £1.6 billion, and even stretch to computers, sports equipment, and cast iron items. With such detailed moves on the board, will this trigger further surprises on the global stage? At a press conference aimed at reassuring American consumers, Canada's Foreign Minister Melanie Joly stressed, "Remember, Canada is your best friend, your closest neighbor, and your strongest ally." She pointed out that Canada is also America's largest customer, buying more American goods than the UK, France, China, and Japan combined. Canada isn't the one driving up your grocery or gas prices or risking your jobs, she insisted, while promising to discuss tariff issues with European allies to push back against U.S. pressure. With such strong words, can alliances keep the situation from spiraling further? Meanwhile, the United Kingdom announced a more cautious response. In a session at Parliament, Prime Minister Keir Starmer expressed his disappointment at the sweeping tariffs on steel and aluminum. "Like everyone else, I'm disappointed," he said, noting that Canada remains a very important ally. "We'll handle this pragmatically. We're negotiating an economic deal that will cover these tariffs if we succeed, but we're keeping all options open." His measured tone raised the question, will diplomacy win over the growing trade tensions? Germany, too, made its stance clear by distancing itself from any desire for a trade war with the U.S. A spokesperson for Germany's economy ministry stated, "We support clear trade rules and a global free trade area that runs on the rules set by the WTO." With nations across the globe taking their positions, the stage is set for a dramatic unfolding of events. How long can this delicate balance hold before the next big move is made?